Good morning, everyone. As Ben said, my name is Gemma. I'm one of the librarians at Ourimbah campus on the Central Coast. So I assist students from pathways, so Open Foundation and New Step, all the way through undergraduate to postgraduate by coursework. I'm just going to share my screen with you, and we'll talk a little bit about how to use the library catalogue library search. All right, can everybody see the library website? Yep, wonderful, thank you. Okay, so the library website is newcastle.edu.au/library. That's our URL. And there's a little blue menu up in the top right-hand corner, no matter what page of the uni website you're on, with a little 3 lines. We call that the hamburger menu. So if you just click on that, you'll be able to have a quick link to the library page wherever you are on the website. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit past our welcome banner. And this blue box here is called Library Search. So this is where you click in and search to find all of the resources that we have at the university library. So we have many different kinds of resources, books, journals, articles, both print and online. And there are a few different ways that you can approach your search. So you can just put in one keyword or search for an author's name if you're looking for a specific author, even search for a title of a book, for example, if you know the title of what you're looking for. But there are some other more complex ways that you can search as well. So I'm just going to show you some search tips before we go into a more in-depth demonstration. So on this search tips page, it gives you a bit of an overview of some of the techniques that you can use to search the library more efficiently. So one of the best ways to search, if you are looking for a concept, which is a phrase, so more than one keyword that you want to keep together in the order that you've typed them, just to keep all of that information in context. So for example, if you have a phrase like social media, if you put that phrase in quotation marks, it means that it will search for those words together rather than individually. So you'll get results which have the phrase social media within that resource rather than results which just have the word social by itself or the word media by itself. The next thing that you really need to pay attention to when you're thinking about what keywords do I want to search in the library catalogue is synonyms. So when you analyse your assignment question and you think, okay, what words am I going to use? Once you've identified the keywords, think about synonyms and related terms and key concepts. So words which have a similar meaning to the keywords in your assignment, because that's going to help you to ensure that your search is wide enough that you're not accidentally missing any important information just because the terminology in your question is slightly different to the words that are used in the resources that we have in the library catalogue. Another really useful tip that you can use is wildcards and truncation. So the symbols that are used can vary slightly in different databases, but in the library catalogue, we use a question mark symbol to try and find different spellings. So that can be particularly useful if you're looking for a word that has an American spelling and an Australian spelling, just to capture results which have both of those alternate spellings. And truncation is a wonderful trick to be able to find variations in the endings of a word. So if you have a word like management or education, what you can do is trim the word down to the root of the word. So for management, for example, you would cut off at the G, then put a little asterisk symbol, and that's going to search for all of the alternate endings. So you don't have to do a separate search for each different variation of that word. Once you've kind of thought about all of that, the keywords and some of the shortcuts that you might want to use with your searching, you need to think about how you're going to combine your keywords if you want to use more than one. And the way that we do that when searching the library catalogue is using Boolean operators. So there's 3 Boolean operators and they all have a different function when you're searching. So the Boolean operators are and if we have a look at these Venn diagrams here, you can get an idea of how they actually operate. The Boolean operator and is going to link your keywords together and narrow down your search. So if you're searching, for example, for the keywords peanut butter and Vegemite, if you link them together with the Boolean operator and, you're only going to get that narrowed down sweet spot, which has results which mention both of them. So it's cutting out the results which only mention one of those keywords. The Boolean operator or will broaden your search. So that can be a good idea to start with if you want to search for a bunch of synonyms and link them with or, because you're not quite sure what's out there and what keyword is going to bring you the most results for that particular topic that you're searching for. And the other option that you have is to use not. So that's going to exclude some keywords. So that can be useful sometimes if you are doing a search and you notice a keyword keeps coming up in the results that you're seeing, but it's irrelevant to your topic and you want to make sure that you get rid of it. So for example, if you're looking for information about orange, the color, but you keep getting information about the fruit, you could say orange color, not fruit, for example. But keep in mind that not can potentially get rid of results which could be useful because it's getting rid of the stuff which mentions both of your keywords. So use not with caution. I'd say a good place to start is to probably use and to start with until you start to get used to your searches, and then you can think about maybe trying some of the more complex operators. So we'll go back to the library homepage now and just do a quick couple of demonstration searches so I can show you what to expect when you start to search the library catalogue. So today I'm going to search for the keyword penguins and see what we get coming up. So I'm in the All tab now. You'll see there are a few different tabs up the top, so you can limit straight away to a specific kind of resource like books or articles or journals. Keep in mind that the articles tab will cover not just journal articles, but also other kinds of articles like newspaper and magazine articles as well. So if you're just after journal articles, you will have to do an additional limit once you get into the main part of your search. But we will run that search now and see what we get coming up. So you can see here that we have 752,407 results, which is way more than we could ever go through individually. So some of the ways that I could narrow this search down would be by adding more keywords to my search and being more specific about what exactly it is about penguins that I want to know. And I can also use some of these limits or filters on the left-hand side of my search results page to narrow down to a specific research type or really drill down into a topic or a specific date range, etc. So, for example, if I want to have a look at ebooks and I don't have time to go into the library and have a look at the print books that are about penguins in the collection, I can click on this limit here and click on ebook full text online. And when that applies that limit, our results go down to 980. So it's only limiting to the resource type ebooks where we have access to the entire book online. You can also narrow down further by publication date. So we have these set date ranges here, or you can type in a specific one of your own. But I'm just going to use a preset limit here and click on 5 years. Now, every time I add a different limit to my search, you'll see that the number of results that we have goes down, and the limits that I've actually selected are summarized up the top here. So if at any point I make a mistake and I want to start again with my search, I can just click clear all to remove those limits from the search. Now you can see here what kind of resource they are on the record itself. So here it says ebook and full text online. And if there are more access options, it will also show you as well. But in this case, we're just looking at the full text of the ebooks. If I wanted to read one of these, what I would need to do is to click on a title. And that will take me through to the website that's actually hosting this ebook. And I've got all of the information here that I need in order to reference the book. And I can also click through and download the book as well. So it's important to keep in mind that different publishers will enable you different levels of access. You can usually read the entire ebook online, but often they will have different download limits and different printing limits depending on the licensing arrangements that we have with them and copyright restrictions as well. So just be wary of that. Yeah, it's never going to let you print the entire thing, but keep in mind you will always have access to the online copy as well. If we go back to our search, you can see here that a lot of these results are sort of out of context to what I'm looking at. There are a lot of results that are talking about the publishing house Penguin. So if I want, what I can do is limit by discipline down here. So if we scroll through here, we can see some of the different topics that we have here. I might want to focus on the zoology discipline, for example. So talking about penguins as animals rather than the publishing house penguin. And then you can see that's immediately changed the focus of our search. So it's bringing up articles which have zoology as a topic tagged within them. So sensory ecology of birds, conservation, etc. Now I'm going to clear that search and start again because just doing the search penguins alone doesn't give me enough information. I want to really narrow down on a topic. So I'm going to do fairy penguins and searching that as a phrase because I want to look about information for a specific type of penguin. I'm linking it together with and I'm going to search for habitat. And I'm going to do some truncation as well. So it's only going to bring up results which has the phrase fairy penguins and talks about the habitat. And I'm adding in Australia and truncating it just so we've got that geographic limit as well. And it's going to get all of the different endings of Australia too. So I'll run that search and see what we get. So 325 results straight away is very good compared to 700 odd thousand. So I can tell that that's a good search for the topic that I've done. If you end up getting no results, think about what keywords you're putting in and maybe you've been a little bit too specific, and also double check your spelling as well because the catalogue's not as intuitive as Google in terms of your spelling. It's not going to pick up your spelling mistakes and fix it for you. So always double check that if you get no results. It's a bit of a clue to you that you need to rethink what you're doing. Okay, so we have a number of different source types coming up here. We have journal articles coming up the top. We have newspaper articles and there will be book results in here as well. If I scroll down to a book result, Penguins of the World, I can see that it says in library and it's got a number here and a location. So if I click on the title of the record and go in, you can see the information about where the book is. So it's located at Awk Moody Library. The status is in library, so it's available to borrow. And it's got the call number. So that's like a street address. It tells me exactly where on the shelf this book is in order to be able to go into the library and find it. So what I can do is look for the number 598. Once I've found that section, then you're looking for the number after the decimal point. So the section 598.441. And then once I've found all of those books, they're all on the same topic at that Dewey Decimal number. And they're arranged by the author's surname. So these first four letters of the author's surname, R-E-I-L. So I'd then look for that book within that section alphabetically. What you can then do is actually request a book. So if you click on this tick icon here to request, you can sign in with your student or staff library number and your library PIN number. We'll talk a little bit later on in this session about how to create your library PIN, and that'll enable you to log in with your library account, and then you can choose your pickup location. So you can choose home delivery, so the book is posted to you. And you can also get it sent to the library that you go to most often, just for convenience. So at the moment, home delivery is still available, but that may change throughout the semester. So we've made that option available throughout the pandemic, just to make it easier for people to get access to the books that they need without necessarily having to come on campus. Okay, so the other thing that I need to talk about just quickly is advanced search. So if we go back to our library search, you do have the option to do an advanced search. And there are some benefits to that, because it prompts you to add in your Boolean. So you can add in more rows and pop in your keywords in the different fields. It really lets you narrow down and search for a specific field when you're doing your keyword searching as well. So you might not want to just do, a generic keyword or author or title search. You might be searching for the ISBN of a book if you know that information, for example. It also lets you add all of the filters on before you actually go into your search. And it helps you to do a bit more of a complex search right away. So advanced search is a great option, or you might want to just stick to doing your keyword search. But certainly once you start doing very complex searches with multiple Boolean operators and multiple keyword combinations, it's definitely a great option for you.